catch any fish, which is concerning. So I'm gonna have to dip into my dinner rations. I drank untreated water. That's what wild mint looks like. Awesome remedy for Giardia. Here's the creek. All of this was supposed to be a beaver pond. And I was just gonna paddle across effortlessly. Potentially someone blew it up. Oh, the beaver gets stuck. It's just gonna go on and on like this, all the way back in and around there. This is a disaster. Leaning on my boat, trying to help balance me. Come up with a system so I don't have to trudge along in the muck. But it's not working when there's huge logs. That muck is so deep. Oh man, starting to think I just should have portaged this. Oh, that's dip deep right there. Yeah. Now I'm using a really long rope so I can kind of cut off the corners and just haul it straight without having to meander myself in the muck. So all these methods are working depending on what I'm faced with, but you just got to be creative, I guess. I found this super old bridge. It just goes to show you how much these kind of beaver pond areas have fluctuated. When this was a full beaver swamp, this was completely underwater. You know, with dammed up creeks and beaver swamps, beavers will move out, they'll get eaten by wolves, they'll get trapped, they'll move to where there's more food, and then they'll come back, and that can make a big difference between you know, large fluctuations and turning creeks into full-on ponds. Trapping doesn't really put much of a dent in them though, I've learned, as long as you don't really overdo it. Maybe that was an old clear cut that came into the pond, that at one time people could access this area by snowmobile or something, or by ATV, I don't know. There's a bit of old beaver dam here, and looks like at least in there I might be able to paddle, or at least push off the bottom for, I don't know, 20 feet. It's time to haul up this beaver dam here. I don't think I can sit in here and paddle. It's going to be very, very interesting. Oh, am I floating? Excuse me. Oh, God. It's futile. Whoa. Looks like the fun ends right up here. Another beaver dam up there. That means that after I pull over that beaver dam, I'll have some more water to paddle. Which is good news, of course. Because anything is a hell of a lot better than what I've been doing. Whoa! see that one coming. Got some deep muck around here, gents. And I honestly think that was easier than portaging through this mucky beaver meadow. But if the water was any lower, I would have had to have. It was still not easy though. Now I'm really not sure how close I'll be able to get to this beaver pond. But I do know that once I get over it, I'll be able to paddle more easily than I am right now. So pretty good news. As long as it's been maintained. Maybe not. We'll see. Get a little closer here. Well, this should be interesting. But we got some water over there. You might even be able to call that a pond. So after this misery has finished, things will be better. For a brief moment. Little tip for hauling up beaver dams: whip a bunch of vertical logs. Ways to go that way, and all the way back there to where I just hauled up from, through the trees. Good little distance. This is the clearest beaver swamp water I've ever seen. Probably one of the most likely places to get Giardia, but I gotta drink, man. I don't see a trail or any flagging tape, unfortunately. But I know that I'm more or less following the main connecting creek, so I'm gonna go scout it out here. My stomach is not feeling great right now. It is in abundance. Wild mint. You smell it before you see it. Never seen it in such abundance. It's helping my stomach. It's a little upset. Like, helps immediately. It's amazing. was like 50 meters. So yeah, even though that beaver pond is no more, I kind of mixed up exactly where I am, but I think I have it figured out just by how short that carry was. So the doozy, next one's going to be tough, and then a couple more and we'll be in the real doozy, but slowly but surely. Again, just a short paddle. This next one coming up is a 570 that goes to another pond. Then I have a 160, and then I get to Skate Lake. But it's between Skate Lake and the headwater of Wildland Creek. It's really questionable. So, you know, worst comes to worst, I end up camping mid-Portage trail. But if this isn't too much of a gong show coming up, I'm going to jump right into it. There's a hell of a beaver lot. Sometimes just these kind of glorified beaver ponds don't really hold any fish because they freeze too deep. And in the winter, there's not enough water for anything other than minnows to live. Those clumps on the top of black spruce trees are created because the red squirrels eat so many cones from the top, and so it grows denser there, which is funny because those create the perches that then bald eagles hunt red squirrels from. And actually the boreal forest can almost communicate to decide all at once that they're going to put a halt on cone creation and literally starve out the red squirrels when they get overpopulated. It's pretty amazing. Looking for a trail, looking for a worn down patch of dirt, ideally a piece of flagging tape. Starting to get a little concerned. Aha! There it is. Oh, just when I was starting to get worried. Not much of a paddle, but it's better than portaging. A half decent trail that goes up abruptly. The word up is an abrupt, I've noted. Apparently this trail meets up with an old logging road, so probably just gonna carry everything to there and do the portage in 2 stages. Trail's not the easiest to follow. Like that. This is from rabbits gnawing at it. But of course, the snow would have been this high at the time. So it would have been on top of the snow. I can't believe that beaver swamp water tastes delicious, so clear. Some old logging activity for sure, just because of the smaller types of deciduous trees in there. The trail goes straight and then cuts back in there. So then I put into a pond, then another portage, then I'm in Skate Lake. I'm doing it's about noon, and despite the big setback of having to haul up that mud because of that pond being disappeared, I'm still doing all right. So there you go, that feels good. Back for the next load, whatever. I don't mind leapfrogging. Makes me feel safer because I'm closer to all my gear, and also it means I don't have to carry one load the whole way, so it's probably actually easier on the back too. I think I've done most of this portage, so once I get all my stuff to here, I probably only have like maybe 200 meters to cut back into the bush to the next pond. Then it's another pond hop and then I'm in Skate Lake, so slowly but surely. Gonna get a bite to eat, I'm starving. Three trips, leapfrogged everything to here, and let me tell you, it was pretty exhausting. Trail mix, baby. Little summer sausage. It's one of the good ones too, like the legit, like Amish one. Lunch for me, I try to make it something fast, no cooking, or just something I can kind of munch on whenever I'm hungry, as opposed to stopping for a lunch. So, no, better get back at it. I've lost the trail already. Should have known to bring more flagging tape, because this piece is kind of a joke. When you have to flag, it's good not to bring the canoe first, because the canoe is the hardest to put down to tie flagging tape onto things. Alright, now I can't see the damn trail for the life of me. Not easy. There's some old flagging tape on the ground. Here we are. Well, this is quite further than I thought from where I left the stuff. Oh. Skate Lake lies 1.2 kilometers that way, through that and a bunch of hell, godforsaken, tormenting, disastrous stuff. So if I can get through that today, I'll be pushing it. It's going to take a long time. Judging by the fact that this one is taking a long time, the other one's double the distance. It's going to be a challenge, but I'm going to go for it. Anyways, back for the other stuff. Oh, I just don't have it in me to take the canoe yet. Oh, tired. You can tell you're far north when you see all these black spruce trees. Bye bye black flies. It's almost like really just a portage all day. Like, do you even count these little paddles as anything? Looking for a trail. Aha! These plants are cool. They're like a water jug, they're a pitcher. They hold water inside them. And I believe they also use the nutrients of bugs that die in that water. See the bugs dying in there? Really cool coloring and texture on them. Skate Lake. It does exist. Not the most graceful. So yeah, I'm basically, I don't know if I'm gonna have much time to fish this lake, because I gotta just like beast paddle across it and start portaging, or else I'm never gonna get to the headwater before dark, which kind of sucks. I don't know, maybe I'll camp at the head of the Portage trail again and just fish the lake and get across, but I'd really like to get it out of the way today. That would be a big weight off my chest for sure, so we'll see. This is insane. I'm just bushwhacking through chest-high raspberry bushes here. Incredibly confused.